It was the 5th time over a 10-year period, and I liked them more and more, and the last one was my favourite, because the world changed in that 10 years. You know, like the first time I hosted them in like 2010, the press of America, I hated me. Right? Who is this annoying Brit insulting the most important people on the planet? By the last time I hosted, they were like, yeah, go on, fuck them. Fuck them, right? Because ordinary people had got sick and tired of being lectured by these multi-millionaire, nothing wrong with that, these liberal elite entertainers telling them how to vote and how to recycle, when everyone knew they were getting free jet rides to Pedo Island. So it really hit the zeitgeist. But it was always the same deal. Whenever they said, do you want to host? I said, yeah, I'll host. I said, but I'm going to write all my own jokes, which is unheard of, apparently. I said, I'm going to write all my own jokes, and I'm not going to rehearse, so you can't hear the jokes beforehand, and you can't cancel any. And they let me do that. I did have to show a lawyer the jokes about an hour before to make sure I hadn't broken any laws, and I never had, because I know the law. Sometimes the lawyer would go, are you sure you want to say that? Right? And I go, is it legal? They go, yep, technically. I go, let's do it. Right? I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes. That says something about them, to be fair, right? So, anyway, thank you. This last time, they said, oh, you've got to see the lawyer the day before now. I went, OK, great. So I was driven to the Beverly Hills Centre, and they're all setting up, right? And the photos of the A-listers are all in their chairs. I go, oh, there's Brad, there's Leo, there's Bob, oh, this one. And this big guard showed me to this room, and he opened the door, and he shut it behind me, and I looked, and there were suddenly 10 lawyers in suits. It was usually like this middle-aged woman in a jumper, right? And I thought, what the fuck's happened? I think, oh, is it because it's my last time and they're just making sure I don't say anything? Right? And they were there, and I went, hi. They went, hi. I said, should I do the monologue? They went, please. Tough crowd. Right? So I had the monologue, right, and I was sort of going through. It was like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I was doing the jokes, and after each joke, I sort of looked up, and they were sort of going, making notes like that. A couple of the younger ones were going like that, right? And I got to the end, and I went, that's it. And they went, good. I went, oh, great. I went, yeah. And then the head lawyer, he was about 60 years old, he had like white hair. He went, oh, yes, there was one thing. Now, I did this joke, I don't know if you remember. It went, the world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And it goes on, at one point I go, but Dame Judi Dench said it was the role she was born to play because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her back leg and licking her own minge. Right? So this lawyer went, he said, this is all true, by the way. He went, when you say James Corden is a fat pussy, that's just referring to his role in Cats, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And he went, OK, great. I thought, this is easy. I wanted to go, call yourself a lawyer, right? And that was it. And I went, have a great show. And I left. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone. And the head lawyer went, oh, yeah. He went, oh, sorry, Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there. I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. They'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we got around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin the... I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I have to... I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Nothing funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Judi Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina, right? I said, minge isn't like that. It's like, it's not so specific, because vagina's so... Where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So imagine looking at her own box. Right? I said, I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know it. I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? Right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge, right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge, right? And after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever they said, oh, that won't work. So I was going, please. I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of... And eventually, the head lawyer went, OK, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it. He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. The most frequently asked question I get about the Golden Globes is always, was someone so angry about what you said about them? They came up to you afterwards and wanted to... And I always go, oh, God, no. I wouldn't even say if that had happened, because I don't like gossip, to be honest, right? There was one guy I thought took it the wrong way, right? It wasn't a bad... No, the cameras went to him, and I'm not in control of the cameras, so I think he was caught in the headlights. It was Elton John, right? But it wasn't a bad joke. I was introducing Madonna, OK? And I later found out that him and Madonna were in this feud, and he hated being mentioned in the same sentence as her. But I didn't know at the time. I was confused, right? And it wasn't part of the monologue, but I'm there for like 3 hours, right? And now and again, the stage manager put her head around the door and go, do you want to introduce so-and-so? And I go, yeah, fine. And I come out and I either do it straight or I ad-lib. And this was little ad-lib, because I saw Elton in the front row, right? So this was a joke. I came out and I said, our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Elton. Sit down, right? And it sort of went to him. He sort of went... And I was like, oh, fuck, he hated that. And I was thinking, why is he... I said, oh, God, do you think I'm homophobic? Oh, I'm not homophobic. There's always in my head. Then I thought, he must have heard worse, right? In the 1980s, right, when Elton John was in the closet, he wasn't out. He was married to a woman, right? He was also chairman of Watford Football Club. And he and his then wife would go along and watch Watford play, and the entire crowd would sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. Which puts my little quip into perspective, doesn't it? I don't know how football fans know how to start at the right time in the same key. Do they hand out sheet music before a fucking... We're doing Willy up the arse in C. Jeff's doing a solo. It's like... And what they usually do, they get a traditional tune so everyone knows it, and they change the lyrics. Some genius changes the lyrics, right, to be as offensive about someone or something or somewhere or whatever, right? So the tune they used to use, I remember it, it was that old Cockney knees-up song. My old man said, follow the van and don't dilly-dally on the way. Do you know that one? Remember the term dilly-dally? They use it very creatively in their version, right? So this was their lyric. It was the 80s. It's not politically correct. I apologise. But they're football hooligans. What are you going to do, right? So let's analyse their genius lyrics, right? This is what they used to sing. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. I mean, you might. Not necessarily his, but, you know, like mathematicians amongst you would have to go, yeah, there's a slight... Like, if 1,000 people bent down when Elton was around, one of them might randomly... Someone might come off a bicycle and go, sorry, like that, and they go, oh, fuck, and the scientists will go, one. Do you know what I mean? There's a slight... Also, when Elton's around, that's ambiguous. That could fit... Like, you could have two gentlemen having anal sex in a hotel room, right? And then the next day they find out that Elton John was staying in the next room. They go, oh, I got a willy up the arse when Elton was around, you know? I'll give them that. Anyway. Don't bend down when Elton's around, or you might get a willy up your arse. He has the nerve to call us dear. We all know he's a fucking quill. Sorry, right? And it goes... He dallies and dillies. They've reversed it. Why? He dallies and dillies. He plays with people's willies. Okay, I don't know what play with means in this context. It could be like, wow. It could be anything, couldn't it? Wow. I thought you were going to suck it. No. He dallies and dillies, he plays with people's willies, he's up every arse in town. I'd stop him there, I'd go, no, you know, that is provably false. He's not up every arse in town, is he? We can prove that. Right, take a small town, take Watford, 120,000 people. He is not up 120,000 arses, is it? I mean, half of them are women, so 60,000 tops, right? And I don't think he's been up 60,000. And if he has, good luck to him, but that's not my point. This is my point, right? What did his then wife think of that? Because he's in the closet, right? You know, and she's just married Elton John the box. She couldn't be, she's in love. She's so proud of him. Elton John, and he's chairman of Watford. She goes like, I'm married Elton John the pop star. I'm married to Elton John the pop star. And then the entire crowd sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. She must have gone, why are they singing that, Elton? And he goes, I don't fucking know, watch the game. You know what I mean? It must have been awkward. Well, that's nearly it for me, but I've just, I said earlier, I've never had a joke stopped by the Golden Globes, and that is absolutely true, but I've just remembered a joke that I stopped myself, because I bottled it a bit, and I think I was being overcautious. I want to share it with you, right? So, I got the chance to introduce Jason Momoa. Do you know who Jason Momoa is? Yeah, right? So I thought the meta joke would be to show my hypocrisy and my cowardice. Like, I'm okay to slag off actors, who's scared of actors, but when it comes to a big dude, right, I'm not so brave. So I was going to go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter, because he's got a cock like a baby's arm, right? And I told my mate I was going to do that, and my mate went, do you think people think that's racist? I went, why is it racist? He went, well, because he's a person of colour, and I went, no, but it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact that he's so big that he'd probably have a cock like a baby's arm, right? So I didn't do it. And I had a great follow-up as well. I'll tell you the whole thing. This is the whole thing. This is what I was going to do, right? Right. So I go out and go, I've got nothing bad to say about our next presenter because he's got a cock like a baby's arm. Unlike Peter Dinklage, who's got an arm like a baby's cock. You know what I mean? You go, oh, thank God, I'm dying. Oh, fuck, I'm back. You know what I mean? They can transplant every organ now. Whatever's got... Transplant every organ. Not your brain. That wouldn't make sense. You are your brain. So that would be an everything else transplant, wouldn't it? But I'd sign up for that. I don't care about this. It's to get this round. If I could leave £1 million to science, so when I died, suppose when I died, my body's crushed, killed instantly, but my head's intact. They keep that on ice. Wait for a body donor. Some poor bloke gets his head crushed, put my head on his body, and I'm back. I know. Statistically, I will get a bigger penis as well, so the odds are in my favour there, trust me. I wake up in the future, I see the scar, and I go, oh, that's all right. You know what I mean? I go, oh, you've always wanted a big knob? I go, yeah, I've always wanted a big knob. I go, let's have a little bit of me time, shall we? And I start, but then every time I look down, I go, oh, that's not my knob. Do you know what I mean? I go, oh, that's not my knob. Oh, that's not my knob. It's not my hand either, carry on. It's like, you know what I mean? I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, so what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from The Office? Like that, right? And then 2 big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so that'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. my point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. Don't live your life. Let someone else worry about it. You're dead. You've done your bit, right? I know some people who really are stressed about